Okay. I'm gonna kind of look down more at what I do this, it's called automatic writing, I guess, if you call it something. To me, it is, you start writing, like you'll get, to me, I'll get something that will come into my head. So I'll go to write it down, like, oh, I want to remember that. And then it just will start going, and it will just be all of this flood of information. And it's hard to read sometimes. It's like really scribbly. Sometimes I'll think, oh, well, I already know what it says. And then I'll go in and read it. And it's like, I don't remember any of this. So it's some sort of meditative state your brain goes in, and it just brings information to you that's out there in the universe from your guidance, whatever it is. But that's why I was saying the other day how it is, that is one of the techniques you can use to communicate with your own. If you're trying to figure out, like, how can I tell it's my thoughts or it's information coming in and stuff. For one thing, from what I understand, your brain doesn't create thoughts. Your brain maybe can process it, maybe can have memories, maybe is processing information inside your body and stuff, but it's not creating thoughts. It's not telling you stuff you don't already know. So when that stuff comes in, I take that as its guidance. It is the other side giving you communication, whether it's yourself or other energy sources that are sending you this information. But that's why I call it insights. Like I've told you before, a lot of people call it different things. You'll hear it called a lot of different stuff. Common one seems to be downloads. A lot of people feel like it's like a download of information. Sometimes you'll be getting so much, I'll feel like it's like when you've overloaded a copy machine or something and smoke's coming out and you're just like, oh, your brain is just, it's too much. But it's tuning into finding it out. And that's why I said, you can use signs, like ask questions or something, ask for certain signs. But at some point, because you'll keep on wanting more and more and more and more, like, because that's just kind of a three-dimensional way that we look at things, is we need a physical sign. We need to see something that we can touch, so we know. And that's when you move out of three-dimensional thinking, you move into the state of mind is, I don't have to see it physically. I can know it. I can feel it. I can understand it. Still is thinking this is a good bath time for her. So anyways, sorry if that is offending you. She is cleaning her legs. She's got arthritis. She's had it ever since she was a baby. And she'll have periods of times that it becomes really inflamed, and then we just happen to move where it just rains all the time. And there's definitely certain times when she really has issues. But anyways, she's cleaning her leg. Anyways, when you move out of that, I need to see, touch, feel, or whatever, to broader concepts, a broader understanding, more. To me, a part of it is, there isn't any racism and stuff like that in higher dimensional thinking, awareness, because you have a different concept of animals, of insects, of all life. And you begin to respect all life. It's all energy forms. It's all existence. We are all things. All things are us. So when you can get into that awareness, your perspective changes. And and to me, love, everything changes. It is just a state of being and accepting and experiencing. And Anyways, that's moving out of three-dimensional thinking. And another thing that I had, when I was talking before about the chakras, you know, and I was saying about the subconscious down here where, you know, we've all can see, we've all come out of it because we all were there as conscious beings of being unconscious of all things. We had a very limited sight. We were all driving in the fog. And then once we start being able to see past that, that's when we can start encountering ourselves. And that's when the real growth, the true authentic self comes out. And it's a lot of processing. And, you know, that's what we're doing. But so we're moving out as a collective out of these lower chakras and up into the higher chakras. And so I'll be talking about, you know, my own personal journey. I can't talk to everybody about theirs. I can't tell anybody how to complete theirs. You know, there's not like a cheat sheet. It's a very internal, you have to, it's a personal journey. And in my own personal journey, oh, here we go. She's got to have all the attention or she's got to have an attitude. Hold on. It's freaking frigid out, so this is very temporary. Anyways, so for my own personal journey as what, you know, my experiences, this is what I can talk about. And so again, in this one of moving up in here, I actually had felt the physical manifestation of the fear releasing, because when I started this YouTube channel thing, I started burping and burping and burping. I was like, what is going on? This is the weirdest thing. And it was like super deep. It would like be this painful. And you know, I make kombucha, which, you know, I'll have to, if I haven't talked about that yet, I'll have to talk about that because that's more about the health and being in tune with your body, understanding what your body needs to be healthy and creating a healthy body, a healthy vehicle. So anyways, you know, sometimes when you drink it, it's like drinking a soda and you will burp, but, you know, just for no reason to just keep having this burping. And I had seen right around that time several different resources talking about burping as a releasing a fear for your body. It's releasing it. And so I was like, weird, because it is like I'm releasing that. But as I started to do it, it was such a freeing experience. I started feeling like, oh, all these weights were coming off of me, because we don't realize how much we bind down our own selves and our own identity, what others expect from us and what others want from us. And one of the blessings for me with starting to like Trump is that, you know, I came from, everybody's liberal and almost entirely. And that was the accepted point of view. And so when I broke away from that and had to go through, you know, the non-acceptance, you know, suddenly, you know, the person who taught you not to be racist is suddenly the biggest racist in the world, or somehow magically. So all of these perceptions and all of this stuff that started surfacing, you know, it helped me to grow in the idea of, okay, you know, they can think that of me and I'm not dead, you know, I'm perfectly fine. You know, big deal if you think this or think that. And you start really coming into these transitions of self-identity. And so it was very beneficial. But still, I still had a huge thing. I've always had, I've got a lot of problems. I think I've said before, you know, I've got scarring on my vocal cords. I've got horrible reflux. So I got ulcers in my esophagus, and is very acidic, and that's one of the, when they had me on all those medicines, that was one of the things they're trying to treat, and that turns into a whole freaking system from head to toe they start treating. It's ridiculous. And that's how they started, that's how they created the colitis and the, the GI bleed situation, that's what all these chemicals in there trying to fix something. Anyways, I've got home remedies to try and stuff like that. You just use cough drops. It's just like having a raw throat all the time. But so anyways, I've just always had, and that is the being able to speak your truth, because I was always held back by what others thought of me, even though I didn't really realize it. But, being told you're crazy for your whole life, you have crazy beliefs, and the beliefs, I wasn't making these things up. These things were coming to me from outside of me. I was being told things, and then I was sharing them, and I was being told I was crazy. Don't listen to that. That's crazy. Well, so you get a battle inside of yourself, and you begin to just shut down, and you become shamed and stuff, and you put a lot of, if you will speak your truth out in other people's hands, will they accept your truth? And a lot of people are all trying to fit into this certain corral that they, if you go outside, if you hang on the fence, you get a little too close to the fence even, you're shamed by the herd. And so it's a very controlled environment, and it's controlled by each other, policing one another. And we've seen that play out for real apparent recently. So anyways, if you're affected by that, getting to that point of being able to speak your truth, then that moves up into that chakra. And hold on.